Hi everybody, this is your ever loving JP sir, welcoming you all once again to this wonderful physics class. And in this class we are going to see about the Coulomb's law of static electric charges in a vector form. So let us all combine together and enjoy learning. Let us get into the class. So here, to explain the Coulomb's law in vector form, let us take two charges. These two charges are stationary charges and they are separated by a distance r. Let the charges be like charges here. This is a positive charge and this is also a positive charge, and we know that if the charges are similar in nature, they will repel each other. So here this charge, that is the charge 1, will exert a force on the charge 2. Now the force of repulsion exerted by the charge 1 on the charge 2 is given by, is noted like this here, that is the force of repulsion on the second object by the first object, the force of repulsion on the second object by the first object. The same way, the second object will also exert a force on this charge, which is given or noted here like this. The force exerted on the first charge by the second charge, the force exerted on the first charge by the second charge. See here now, if we take these two forces, we know that these two repulsive forces are equal in magnitude. The forces are equal in magnitude, but when I denote the force with a vector sign, then a vector quantity is a quantity which has both magnitude as well as direction. Now, when I mention this force with a vector symbol, then I have to consider the direction, which is denoted by the letter minus sign here. That means the forces are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in direction. Equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay. So how to prove this using Coulomb's law in vector form? For that, we are going to take the general formula for Coulomb's law, which states that the force of repulsion or the force of attraction between two stationary point charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges q1, q2, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two charges. Now, F directly proportional to q1, q2 divided by r square. Using this formula, Coulomb's law formula, we can find the magnitude of the force, where the vector symbol is not denoted here, represented here. So this formula can be rewritten like this as F is equal to K into q1, q2 divided by r square, where K is nothing but the proportionality constant. And again we can simplify this equation like this: F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, where the value of K is found to be 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space. That means these two charges are kept in free space, and how much of permittivity it allows. The force of attraction or repulsion depends upon the permittivity of the space what we are taking, or the medium what we are taking. Here it denotes the permittivity of the free space. That means these two charges are kept in air. So 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1, q2 divided by r square. Now very important, I am denoting the force with a vector sign. Let us take this force exerted on the first object by the second object. Force exerted on charge 1 by the charge 2. In vector notation, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, and I am introducing a unit vector here. Unit vector along the axis of this line, which is from the charge q2 to the charge q1. So, the force of repulsion, this is the force exerted by the second charge on the first charge, force on charge 1 by the charge 2, but this force is acting in the direction which can be denoted by the unit vector, which is representing the direction of the force, that is the direction of the force is from 2 to 1. This force is acting on 1, but the direction of the force is from 2 to 1. So, which is denoted by the unit vector. So, this unit vector is just representing the direction of the force. So, this force is acting in this direction, that is it is coming from q2 to the charge q1. So, it denotes the direction. And this unit vector, since this is unit vector, its value is 1, and which is directing or denoting the direction of the force F1, 2 with vector symbol. Again, let us write this again. F on 1 by the charge 2 in vector notation can be given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. This cap vector now is changed to the vector form, vector with vector symbol divided by the magnitude of this vector. This can be written like this. The unit vector can be written like this. This is cap vector, which can be written as the vector with the modulus of the vector, where this modulus vector is nothing but the distance r. So, what I can write is force on 1 by the charge 2 in vector form is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square, and this becomes simply the distance of separation r. So, where I can write force on 1 by the charge 2 in vector form is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square into r becomes r cube with the vector notation or 2 to 1. The vector, this direction of the force. So, the direction of the force is from 2 to 1. So, this is what this is denoting. So, force on 1 due to the charge acts in this direction. So, this is very important equation. Let us take this equation as equation 1. And now let us go to the next force, this force, which can be written here like this. There is force exerted on 2 by the charge 1. Force exerted on 2 by the charge 1. Force exerted on 2 by the charge 1 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r cube, but the direction of the force is denoted by this vector notation, that is the direction of this force is from 1 to 2, is from 1 to 2. That means this force is going in this direction, but this force is along this direction. So, both the forces are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in direction, which is clearly specified when we denote the force with the vector sign. Okay. But if we take these two directions are opposite to, one is going this way and other is coming this way. So they are opposite to each other. So that what I can write is, but this vector notation for the direction r 1 2 can simply be written as minus of r 2 1, because they are equal, but because the direction is opposite to each other. The direction is opposite to each other. Now, substituting these 3 in 2, we get F acting on 2 from the charge 1. Force exerted on 2 by the charge 1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R cube minus of into minus of R 2 1 vector. That is equal to, this minus sign comes here, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R cube R 2 1 vector. Now take this term alone, which is nothing but the first equation. That means F21 in vector notation is equal to minus of F12, or I can again rewrite this as F12 vector is equal to minus of F21. So F12 in vector notation is equal to minus of F21 in vector notation. That means these two forces are equal in magnitude. These two forces are equal in magnitude, and if I put the vector sign, then I have to specify the direction. Here the direction of the two forces are clear that they are opposite to each other. So the very important aspect of this Coulomb's law in vector form is that these two charges are equal in magnitude, but they are acting opposite to each other, which is clearly defined in Coulomb's law vector form. My dear students, I hope that you all could have enjoyed this class, and I believe that you all could have understood the concept behind this Coulomb's law in vector form. Let us all combine together once again in a next class. Until then, goodbye. Thank you for watching.